So, who ate too much sausage pie yesterday? It kept calling to me. It was lovely. It was really nice. We had it again for supper. So we had it for dinner and we had it for supper, and I had it for a snack. um, just getting my hair right. I haven't really done it since I washed it, dried, and not really dried it. Yeah, I had rather a lot of sausage pie yesterday, and there's just enough for a small piece each later, but I don't know when we'll have that. I must do something else. I must do something, either Atkins, or it'll probably be Atkins for lunch and then Fast 800 for supper. Must do that. Mark left here at 11 yesterday to go to the local surgery that was on call, just on spec, about the patch that he's got up here on his head, and came back by midday with antivirals and an antiviral cream. And I looked at the patch this morning and it hasn't increased in size, so that's good. He says his eye feels a bit odd, so got to keep an eye on that. Got to keep an eye on that. And I think tomorrow we'll make an appointment, actually ring and get an appointment with our own doctor, just to make sure his eye is going to be okay and that he doesn't need to do anything else. So I was quite pleased to see him come back with medication, because our pharmacies on a Saturday aren't always, I don't think they're always open, but it might just be on Saturday afternoons they're not, which would have meant going out yesterday afternoon to another town. But that's okay. So he came back with those. We had a phone conversation with his sister in the afternoon. I can't remember. Oh, she rang me for some information about council tax that she, because I used to live near to where Mary lived, and she wanted to know, because we get 2 months, or they get 2 months of not paying, and she wanted to know what months those were. I said, well, it's 15 years since I've lived there. But so anyway, we had a conversation with her. It seems like she's got some things, begun to get some things sorted, because she sounded really not very organised when I last spoke to her. But we sort of have thought about what happens when the house becomes empty at the end of February, and it looks like Mark and I may have to go over and live there whilst the house is being sold, which is the least we can do under the circumstances, but it's really not something that we look forward to. I talked before about, how comfortable we are here, and my comfortable bed and my comfortable seating, and it won't be comfortable there. I know that when I've stayed there before, the bed that we sleep in, the big double bed, is horrible. I hate it. I don't know why, what it's, I haven't really looked at it closely, but it's very high. I think it's got, 2 mattresses on it, but neither of them are comfortable. And it's over a garage, and it's quite cold, that room. Apparently it's not so cold because the heating boiler has been replaced, and the heating's on, so hopefully it won't be too bad. But I really have avoided going to that house for years because of the person that lived there, as well as Mary. And but we will need to go and live there, or somebody will need to go and live there whilst it's vacant and being sold, because it was broken into when Mary was in respite and her partner was in having a procedure in hospital. It's a very nice house in a very sought after position. It's a great plot. It's a great site for redevelopment. The house is a great house to bring it into the 21st century. It was built in the 60s, I think, and nothing has changed in it since then, so it really needs redeveloping. Anyway, we will need to share some living there with Mark's sister. Can't ask her to go and live there all of the time, but we're not going to be able to be there all of the time either, because my family are coming here in May. So, yeah, well, I'm going to have to work that out. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm certainly not looking forward to another trip up the auto route so soon. It feels like so soon after we were up there in October, but it has to be, and it'll be an adventure. Part of the adventure will be there won't be loads of furniture there. I don't even know if there'll be anything to sit on. And Mark said, because that's important to him, oh my God, there will be a telly. Maybe. But that's okay, we can watch stuff. I said to him, you can watch stuff on Netflix and um, all of that. I haven't really thought about whether there'll be internet there, but we'll have to arrange that or sort something out or go cold turkey and oh my God. So, not looking forward to that at all. But I'm looking forward to the fact that if we're there for a month, 6 weeks, that there'll be people that we can go and see and meet up with that we haven't been able to see and meet up with because we're normally just dashing into Kent and then moving on to Lincolnshire. So it'll be nice to be static and see the people that we didn't see in October and see people that we did see people that live further afield. So that part I'm looking forward to. I'm hoping that COVID has settled again and that this current wave has dropped and, we're in a better situation. Of course, we're both boosted now, so that hopefully means that we're well covered. May not mean so for me so much because of my suppressed immune system, but I live in hope that actually I am well covered. So that's that. I was remembering when I was having a shower this morning how difficult it was to shower when I was in the depth of my illness, and remembering something called the spoon theory. And it's not something everybody's heard of unless they've had an autoimmune disease. I think one of those diseases that saps your energy and makes you fatigued and um, yeah, I don't know whether there are other. I'm sure there are other illnesses that do the same thing, but I know it is an autoimmune thing. And the spoon theory is about you only have a certain number of spoons when you get up in the morning, and you have to decide how you use those spoons. And spoons are units of energy, and you have to work out how you're going to use your spoons. And I remember how exhausting having a shower was, how painful. I couldn't work my hands very well to dry myself. Um, so actually getting into the shower, getting showered, getting out, I was absolutely exhausted. And you just think, is it worth it? So you don't shower. I can remember that for several months I rarely got dressed. I just stayed in my night clothes because I wasn't going anywhere. I was sitting around a lot, and because I couldn't do any more than that, and I saving my energy because I continued to cook and provide meals and do all of those things. So I was saving my energy for the things I could do and enjoy doing. But I can remember the doctor saying to me, because obviously I'd put on a lot of weight. Well, yeah, I'm big anyway. Saying to me, do you walk? And I said to him, well, I walk a lot during the day anyway, just in the house. And you've now seen the length of the house from one end of from the stairs through to the utility room. And that's a walk I do often during that. Well, not from the stairs, but I do a walk often in the day out to the utility room to fetch something, come back, out, fetch back. So I do a reasonable amount of walking actually indoors. And I remember him saying, well, you need to walk. And I said, but if I walk, then there are things that I won't be able to do. I can only do this or this. I can't do both. And I mean, he doesn't really understand, and I don't expect him to. I mean, he's much better now at knowing that I know my illness and I know how it works and I understand my body. He doesn't really put too much pressure on me. In fact, he doesn't put pressure on me to reduce my steroids much, because he knows that I'm doing what I can and that I'm not just taking them for the sake of it. You know, he knows that I try, and he knows that it's hard. So yeah, that I reminded. I will put I'll put a link in the description to the Smooth Theory, because it was really a revelation to me when I came across it. It was really helpful, because it's really difficult. People don't understand um, what's going on and why you're not doing this and why you're not doing that. And it was really good to understand, and also good for me to understand that I'm having to conserve my energy for this activity, but can't do this activity. And the difficulty now is that I forget that it doesn't really use much energy for me to wash my hair, have a shower, get dried, get dressed. So I mean, I'm not really much of a person for showering. I think it's something that we didn't used to do when I was growing up. It was like, you know, you didn't have a shower every day. You didn't wash all the good stuff off your skin every day. Um, so I don't shower every day. I probably shower twice a week, and I wash myself during the week between showers. But I have to remind myself sometimes, look, you're not gonna get exhausted. You can just go and do it, you know. And it's always quite a surprise to me. I think, oh, that didn't. It just doesn't. It's amazing how much we take for granted. It really is. But you know, I come away and I've had a shower, I get dressed to come down, and I'm not even thinking, oh God, I'm exhausted. I could carry on and do something else. It's still quite shocking. So that's that. We were talking about. Oh well, no, I won't talk about that now. I'll talk about that another day, maybe. Because this is what 12 minutes long. This is long enough. Yeah, I won't say anymore. I might talk about it. We're talking about surgeons. There's some research done in Canada into male surgeons, and I did catch a glimpse of that on Twitter yesterday, I think. But we had quite a conversation about it, and there's more to talk about, and I'll talk about that maybe another day. So I hope you can hear me, because I'm realizing that I'm sitting over here away from the tablet a bit, and I'm not speaking very loudly, because Mark was up and then he went back to bed, which he does a lot, but that's okay. He's ill, apparently. Doesn't feel ill, but he's got shingles, so he's allowed. He's allowed anyway. The good thing about us is that we're allowed in this house. There's no questions about why you're doing that or you can't do that. We're just allowed to do what we want, and we do. Okay, voila. See you again tomorrow.